What is going on, everybody? Ryan or Nax, whatever you want to call me. I'm just bringing you another commentary, probably about, I think I'm going to talk about how the first time I got arrested. But first, before we get into that, I'm going to talk about the gameplay in the background. I really don't go for super good gameplays. I just, if they happen, I record them. So please don't be saying, oh, you suck and blah 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 blah. Just know that I'm not really going super hard for gameplays. If I was going super hard for gameplays, I would probably try to focus a lot more and whatnot. I was just playing with some friends. I was playing with Devil Tac today, just chilling and having some fun. So yeah, let's get into it. Well, first, again, I just want to tell you guys that I am a clip-based player. I'm not a commentary. I'm not a commentator, so see, stuff like that, I'll get messed up. This is how I know I'm not reading from a script or anything. I'm just talking straight up and talking to you guys. So, first, let me just explain the backstory. So, it was about 3 years ago, I was 16 at the time. I had just moved to Colorado and I was starting to meet new friends at my high school and everything. So I went through and I met one of my really good friends, Colin. We're still friends today, but I don't see him too much because he lives in Colorado and I live in Wyoming, but we still keep in contact. I still talk with him and everything. So there was this point in my time where me and my dad didn't get along a lot, and no lie, my dad got so pissed to the point where he would kick me out for anything. And he doesn't know this, but the day that he kicked me out, I went back home from when he dropped me off at the bus stop because I wasn't driving at the time. I went back home, I walked all the way back from the bus stop, I waited for him to go home, and then I walked in my house and just stayed home for the rest of the day. Just hanging out with my friends, you know, just chilling. It was my birthday, so my friend wanted to come over and cook me breakfast, and no lie, this kid is crazy. He walks into a convenience store just with a shopping cart and will put a bunch of stuff in a shopping cart, and then he'll just walk out of the store. And nobody will say anything to him. He'll just walk out of the store with a bunch of food. And so he brought over the most random stuff. He brought over 5 packs of bacon, freaking watermelon, a bunch of eggs, and he brought 2 big bags of Starburst. I don't know if you guys know this, but in places what's that thing besides Sam's Club? Sam's Club, they have these huge freaking bags of Starburst, and I don't know how he did it, but he ended up getting these huge bags of Starburst, 2 of them, because that's my favorite candy, the best of all time. So he goes walking out and he comes over to my house, and granted, the kid didn't drive either or anything, so he just shows up at my house with a freaking shopping cart. So we didn't return it or anything. We ended up just keeping it in my garage. My dad, that's another story for another time. But anyways, after all this happened, I ended up making pancakes, and I swear to God, I cleaned everything perfect, 100%. But apparently I didn't, and my dad was just pissed. He came home, and I was at a soccer game, and he was just pissed to the point where he calls me and he says, I don't want you living in the house anymore. I want you to pack all your stuff and go live somewhere else. So what happened was I went and lived with my friend RC, and now this is where the story gets into where I first got arrested. So I started living with my friend RC, and at the time I wasn't really a good kid. I wouldn't go to school as much, and I was doing a bunch of drugs, which that might be another story another time too. I was doing a bunch of drugs, it's Colorado. I was smoking weed, having fun, just chilling with my friends and everything. So me and my friend convinced RC's mom that Colin was 18, and she didn't ID him or anything. She didn't check to see if he was 18 or anything. She was just like, okay, cool, he's 18, he can drive and everything. So what she ended up doing was she gave us $100 to go to the movie. $100. You gotta realize that I was living in a gated community at the time, and all my friends were rich kids. So she gave us $100 to go to a quote unquote movie, which we never went. We just went and bought we just bought a sack, basically. So after all that and everything, after we got the sack and everything, we just chilled at his house, which I don't know how she noticed. Her car, literally RC and Colin, right in front of each other. Like you could walk out, you could literally see Colin's house. And so like Colin parked her car in front of his house. I don't know how she noticed, but we had a whole bunch of other people at his house, and we just got done rolling a blunt and everything. And granted, there was a bunch of people there with license and everything. There's a bunch of people with, like, you know, people that could drive, and people that weren't under the influence at the time. But yet, my dumbass just started to speak, and like, oh, who can drive people home? And I was like, yeah, give me the keys, I can do it. And you know, the first thing that should have gave it away that I shouldn't have been able to drive, got everybody in the car, and then instantly, I couldn't even start the car. I didn't even know how. Like, it was one of those ones where you had to put the key in, push a button, and then twist it. So I got everything, and then eventually my friend had to start it from the passenger seat. He's like, "Are you good to drive?" And I said, "Yeah, sure." And then, like, right when we're pulling out, I was like, "Oh man." It's like, I have a really bad feeling. I was like, you guys need to put your seatbelts on because I have a really bad feeling this just is not gonna end. So what happened was, I pull out, I turn right, and I'm sitting at a stoplight. So as I'm sitting at the stoplight, I was like, oh, turn green, started to turn left. I was going 10 miles an hour, and my friend in the passenger seat started screaming, stop. So, like, what are you supposed to do when you hear somebody doing that? So I stopped in the middle of an intersection when the light was green. So I stopped, I slammed on the brakes and everything, and then then this guy hit me going 50, and I was 50 and a 30. He T-boned the car, the passenger side wheel was in the car. My friend Golden Bear ended up breaking his leg and everything, but that's not even the worst part. I tried to drive away with a car that had no front wheel basically, but after all that, I got out of the car and the cops were called, and there's people saying that, oh, he hit him, it wasn't his fault and everything. But at the time, like, I sobered right up right when the cops came. Like, I don't know how I did it. I didn't get in trouble for being under influence or anything. I just sobered up. So after all that was done, they sat there and gave me, like, you know, the blah blah blah. Where's your license? I didn't have one at the time. So I was like saying, I don't have a license, I was just driving some friends home from a movie. And they're like, oh, well, who's your parents? And I gave, like, well, my dad is so-and-so, and my stepmom is so-and-so. And they're like, well, we're gonna have to either take you to jail, unless your guardian comes and picks you up. Because I told them that I was with a friend, and they said, we cannot let you go unless a guardian's picked you up. So that's basically what happened. Was I called my dad, he said, well, just take him to jail. If he did something stupid, you just deserve to go to jail. And that's basically how I ruined my whole entire junior year in high school. I never got to do anything after, which, well, I mean, I still did. I snuck out of the house and stuff. But, God, he hated me forever. Like, he sent me to Wisconsin to go to my mom and everything. He just hated me forever. Like, he wouldn't talk to me. He said I wasn't his son and stuff, but now me and my dad are chill and everything. I told him everything about it. But anyways, guys, this was my first story about how I got arrested for the first time. If you guys like this, please leave a like and a comment. If you guys want more of this, please subscribe and show me that you guys want more of this. Helping, like, comments and likes and stuff like that help me a lot. So anyways, guys, this has been Nax, and I hope you guys have a really good day, and I love you all.
Friendly lightning strike inbound.